All right, my bros, I took a couple Skittles for the pain, and now we're gonna start doing some more work. I'm working on putting this thing back together because I do have a confirmation from Doug, Truck Doug, that he is gonna be here to help tune tomorrow. So, yeah, I wanna get as much done as I can. So I got the seats put back in. Oh my gosh, man, I haven't had these seats in here in so long. Well, at least the passenger one. The passenger one's been in my house for like 15 months. So I got it in here, got it wiped down. It's looking so good. And I also hooked up the BIM module for the dash. That could not be more easy. Literally, since it was already plugged in, it actually comes with its own splitter. So it doesn't take up a slot that's needed for the Holley stuff. It has its own splitter. So basically you just plug it in and you take it, the instructions tell you how to put it into setup mode, which is super easy. Basically you hold the button while you turn the key on, it puts it into setup mode. Then you just scroll through to where it says TER for Terminator, set it on Terminator, and that's it. And then what I did was I just used the Dakota Digital app. I got it somewhere. The Dakota Digital app right here, and went through, and you have to make sure that you set all your settings in here to be BIM, or if they're hooked to a sensor, you just need to make sure and tell the dash if to read BIM or sensor. So since mine is basically already set up to read BIM, it was mostly all ready to go. So dash is ready, and I might have told you some false info. Alert! I might have told you some false stuff. I might be operating on old info where people were having trouble whenever they plugged in their dash with the handheld and the laptop. They were running into issues where they couldn't do all three at once. Buddy Mr. Griffin 23 said he did it not knowing, and his worked. So I'm like, okay, well maybe new updated stuff works. So I'm just gonna run all three and see what happens. Maybe it's probably gonna be fine if his worked. So I'll have the dash going, we'll have the handheld going, and we'll have laptop plugged into the computer, and we'll just confirm that everything works and there's no interference. So I think the inside of the car is ready to go. Steering wheel's in the back seat because, I mean, it's just going to be in the way for now. I did order a couple sensors. So I could not find this map sensor number right there. I could not find that in the handheld information. And I don't think it's in Holley's database for ones that work. So I did buy a Holley one, and that should be here today. And then hopefully, since we'll have a 1-bar Holley map sensor, that we can get rid of this. This will need to go. We'll just cap that off. Another thing I did was I did order a fuel pressure sensor. So even though I really like this gauge and seeing it manually, it doesn't make sense when I'm not going to be like popping the hood to monitor this thing. So I got a sensor to put here, and that way it can be read through the Terminator, and that makes more sense because when you're looking at everything else in there, if something happens, you should probably be able to see what the fuel pressure is doing in line with what you're working on. So yeah, so basically what I need to do is this right here is too short. It ain't gonna stretch over there. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut this open. I'm gonna try and peel just this sensor back to where I can get it to plug in right here, because the other sensor will just stick up right there, and then this will need to plug into it. So that's what I'm gonna work on now, and And then I'm going to clean up this place because I want to try to fool Doug into thinking that I'm actually organized and clean, which I'm kind of organized. But when you've had a project car in your garage for so long and you've been trying to work around it and work on it, you make a mess. Well, probably not you guys, probably just me. So I'm going to clean all this up so he's completely fooled by who I really am. Only you guys can know who I really am. Of course, he might watch this. So anyways, get to work. Fuel is now broke free from the harness, and I reloomed it. Now it's ready to go right here. You can pull that out. There's like no pressure on it, so that's good. This is the part number for the sensor. Comes with a pigtail, that's cool. Don't need it, but it's a bummer it doesn't say Holley on it. So that, and then this is the map sensor. And that feels just as cheap as any other one I've ever bought, if not maybe a little cheaper. This doesn't say Holley on it anywhere either, but this actually feels cheaper than that one. And the sucky thing is, like, buying this kind of stuff from Holley. Woo-wee! Thought gas prices were bad. That price is not good. Okay, let me put these in. Stop complaining. Hooked up, primed and tested. Well, not tested, but primed, and there's no leak, so on to more stuff for prep. All right, my friends. I've got it somewhat clean, at least you can walk around it. It is on the ground for the first time in like 15 months. It needs to be lowered in the front again. I think because the battery's gone, aluminum heads versus the cast. The transmission is just way lighter than the 480, so I think we need to lower it a little bit in the front, but we'll do that later. So it's kind of clean, cleaned off the dirty hood that had stuff stacked on it. Yeah. Just waiting for Doug. He'll be here any second, and then we can get going on this. Oh, I'm so nervous.
Hanging out. I'm like,
yeah, dude. I have like no butt, so it's just, you know, you're supposed to wear your pants like over your hips.
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I would look like a freaking old man with it up to my belly button.
To my fucking nipples. Jesus.
Doug's here. We should have called you like Do It All Doug.
Do It All Doug.
Come here for my transmission.
Doug transmission guy. Doug
Tuner guy. And then when my motor fails, he'd be my motor guy.
Okay. Send. Alright.
So what's the first thing you're gonna do on there?
Oh, just to make sure the software and firmware are happy together, and it looks like they are, so that's cool.
Yeah, I just did the update like a month or two ago, so I think it should be all somewhat current.
Well, then let's see what gauges we share with the class.
So when I hooked up the laptop the first time and was looking at gauges, they were working, and then all of a sudden they just shut off. And I didn't know why they would do that, so.
I mean, everything looks like it's getting signal. It'll say no signal or something. Make sure that's in neutral. Map is
I'm
zeroed
gonna prime it
out.
again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 60 PSI. Have you started started it today?
No.
That was first crank?
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
So it's
Love that.
not to the point where it starts up really good. It just can't get to rev at all. It like wants to die and fall in its face when it revs.
Okay.
But I feel like the AFR looks fine, and
It might be an accelerator, like over here. Acceleration enrichment. Sometimes we feel like this curve is really straight when it needs to be more like,
a quick bump in the beginning.
yeah, it needs to be like a quick rise. Something like that. Flip the throttle down, let's see what happens.
Not ready?
Oh, I didn't even see it.
Let me get my fan going real quick. Just
Yeah.
to help blow some of this out of here.
Yeah.
Looks like it's working pretty good to me.
It's moving.
Keep cranking. You're good.
You're clear.
No.
But let's just see if we can.
My stupid dash is not working, and I don't know if it'll start working once the laptop's unplugged, but it moves. You sound good?
Look at this. It won't.
You have enough room with your leg on it
Yeah,
to move it?
yeah, I got totally fine.
It won't go into.
I got this fat guy cut out on my steering wheel.
That is so odd. Why won't it link?
Yeah, we're at a place now where I can just drive it and record it all.
Yeah. Awesome, dude.
Doug did it. He pulled through and got it running,
What did we do?
and it runs pretty good. So, you said you took out like 40% of fuel.
Right, right. And then we entered your cam.
Well, we first did the map,
Right.
and you
Right,
said
map
that one, you said it was happier with that map sensor.
Yeah.
And then, so like the hose line you guys can see is gone. And then you actually input all the cam data.
Right.
And then you just kind of tweak the injector PSI, I think you did. Because it said
that's
50.
Right. It said actual was 58, and we were seeing more like 50 actually at the rail. So it was a lot closer to fueling that way.
Yeah. So it's ready to drive now. I mean, we drove it. We didn't drive very far because the laptop locked up. And so we just did like a big loop. But now it's to a point where it can drive and learn. And then once I get a little bit bigger injectors in my fuel pump, then it can be turned up. But for right now, I think it's at a happy place with those injectors
Yeah.
and that pump without causing any problems with. I mean, I can't crank it up with. It just won't handle it. It'll run out of fuel.
Yeah, it'd probably go lean. I don't know. You might be able to squeak it. I would say be on the safe
Yeah.
side. and
I don't want to
not hurt the
push it if I
motor.
don't have to. So
Right. Yeah. if
I've
you
already got a 340 pump,
Yeah.
and you're thinking like 40 or even like 60
Yeah.
or 40.
If you found some 42 factory injectors, 42-pound factory injectors, that would be really good.
Okay.
Because I think they make them
In the Multec.
in the Multec plug. Actually, I'll look when I get home. I may have some.
I have some Snake Eaters,
What's
brand new, 1000 cc.
Those are huge. What am I going to use those for?
I don't know. I almost had them sold once, but I'm like, oh, I'll just wait.
If I have some, you can just have them. I'll just look. you know how it is.
Maybe
Just
we'll
stash-
continue with this monkey trade on that
Yeah.
on that 6 liter over
Hell
there.
yeah, I'm down.
He wants me to store it though, which kind of defeats my purpose of getting rid of it.
What, you think I have more room?
Well, if you get rid of like 8 transmissions,
I know. So
what's that?
let's have some of your viewers. I'm sure.
Oh, it's just dirty water from exhaust.
Yeah.
Look at that, got little rust spots from like where the stands were. Dude, this is literally, my car hasn't been out here in 15 months.
I know. It hasn't dripped oil in 15 months.
Well, no, it dripped like 18 quarts on my first fire up. Oh, did you ever watch that video?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. But to me, that was like one of the worst things that could possibly happened.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I've done that.
but you know what?
Just dump oil straight through a motor.
Look what I got now.
Oh, dude.
The main seal alignment tool.
That is sick. Who makes this?
Because that
Sac
one's
City
Sac
Corvette.
City, but this is the front one.
Oh, nice. Boy, that's a pretty nice little tool. I'm glad that they switched from aluminum to this Delrin.
Looks like a car. Check that tomorrow better. I can't really see. I just want to say thank you guys for sticking around for this whole time while we weren't driving it and you guys stuck around while I was building it. Man, I appreciate that. It's hard to believe. Thankful for Doug for pushing me to drive it today. It's probably gonna milk it out a couple more days. I'm stoked, guys. I don't even know what to say. More videos coming soon, I promise.